3 Days Grace have graced us with a new album. Is Explosion an album for a... or just a...
waste of fucking time?
Let's find out. The album starts out with the first single, So-Called Live, a song that seems very basic, 3 Days Grace at first, but the opener actually has a really good vocal performance by Matt Walsh and especially a really nice guitar that is tuned lower than on the rest of the album. It's a really groovy tune that sets up a really good album, but the rest of the album doesn't always follow that example. I Am the Weapon is the next song, and it's exactly the song that the title promises. Basically, a new version of I Am Machine or I Am an Outsider with the same 3 Days Grace guitar riffs and arena rock chorus. Not necessarily a bad song, but also not exceptional. Neurotic is a mixed bag with a strong opening riff, good synth work, and a nice dichotomy between the slower verses and the exploding chorus. Another instance where Matt's vocals really have improved, but Luke Rossi is the real problem here because sometimes he misses the notes so apparent that it's jarring, and sometimes he sounds so similar to Adam Gontier that he outshines Matt. A really confusing but somehow good song. Then we go into Lifetime. Suddenly, the album has a completely different peak performance, and you start to wonder why they don't go for this sound more often. Super emotional, heavy hitting, and absolutely on the level of old 3 Days Grace songs. The way Matt's voice changes between sounding raw and damaged and then defeated in a way, accepting the tragic fate. It's like his voice goes through the 5 stages of grief through this song, and it's really awesome. And then we're back to the basics. A Scar is Born, big chorus, the doom 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 guitars, and the hook line sounds awfully similar to The Mountain of their last album. This sounds exactly like every 3 Days Grace song ever, which is not saying it's a 0 out of 10. You can listen to it, nice production, and if the music is loud enough, it's probably a great workout song, but it's just nothing more. Souvenirs, again, has a nice contrast between the chorus and the verses. The song is fine musically, but now I really need to bring up the lyrical level on this album, which I will admit has never been that high for any era of 3 Days Grace, and it's not as bad as it was on some cuts on their last album, but Souvenirs really is the most basic of basic lyrics. Same goes for No Tomorrow. Lyrically, a collection of posters you would find in a teenager's room. Live like there's no tomorrow, the past is gone and the future is fiction. Musically, this is my personal favorite among the standard 3 Days Grace formula songs on here, but the lyrics are really dragging this song down. After this valley, we suddenly go into Redemption, and quite literally, with Redemption they start their redemption arc. They have a nice acoustic guitar on the song, it's a nice element. Matt sounds so comfortable and natural, not like he's forcing anything, and it really shows what he can do as a vocalist on this song. We have emotionality again and a really good song. Heart of a Champion is a very interesting cut. The intro and the part where Matt goes, mind over, soul over, is really weird and feels misplaced, but the chorus has energy and not in the formulaic energy kind of way. It's not the I am a machine, na na na. It flows way nicer, and it's another song where Barry Stock really shines. He has the opportunity to deliver more than just the basic guitar work, so great song overall. Chain of Abuse is next, and it's a song about bullying that starts out with some sound effects and then really reminds me of something. I can't quite put my finger on it. Lyrically, this song is what aforementioned teenager listens to in his bedroom full of the posters of 3 Days Grace lyrics. The song has a strong message, but it's so weird coming from these mid-40 millionaires because it doesn't really sound genuine, especially when you compare it to the songs where Matt sings about his struggles and how he feels, which then brings us to the next song, Someone to Talk to. A song that really showcases what a great band Apocalyptica is and how they can turn a mediocre song into a really good song. Someone to Talk to doesn't try too hard, and thanks to the instrumentation, the repetition doesn't bother me at all. There is no big boom moment at the end. Kind of expected that at first, but with the vibe of the song, it actually makes a lot of sense to not have that and not go down that road. Again, really nice song overall. And then finally we have the closer, and just like with Outsider, I was not prepared for this punch in the face. The Abyss on Outsider was Matt suddenly screaming, and it didn't fit into the vibe of the rest of the album because it was so much better, and it's the exact same here. How? What? If they are capable of writing these songs with this monster of an awesome chorus, how do they decide to put so many average formula things on their album? I do not understand that. This song is still not perfect, but it's so bombastic at the end and really makes you want more of explosions. But not more of the album, more of the song. All in all, what is my rating of this album? It's definitely a step up from Outsider and doesn't have any complete misses like Me Against You or Love Me or Leave Me from the last album, but it's also not quite on par with their better albums. The biggest problems are the uninspired, ever-same songwriting and structure on most of these songs, as well as the generic lyrics, but of course, all of that happens on a high musical level, so while it's bland and repetitive, it's definitely not unlistenable thanks to solid drumming, bass work and production. At least there is some hope, with some of these songs being top tier 3 Days Grace material definitely, and those songs barely make this album a 6 out of 10.